Boa noite, galera. Tudo bom? Tranquilo com vocês? Então, a gente vai dar início a algumas lives dos músicos que vão participar no novo álbum do The Cross. Nada mais justo começar com a lenda Jack Starr, né, que está aí quase mais de 40 anos fazendo power metal, seguindo ali a linha dele aqui. É um prazer para a gente estar recebendo Sir Jack Starr. Welcome, brother.
Melbourne.
Passa a zona, Daniel.
Bom, boa noite aí para todos que nos acompanham a banda The Cross. É uma honra para a gente estar aqui junto com essa lenda do metal norte-americano. So, how are you, Jack? Talk about yourself. Introduce yourself to everybody that is watching us right now.
Yes, well, my name is Jack Starr, and I am happy to be speaking today with the members of the Brazilian metal band The Cross.
Nice. Thank you a lot. So, I have some questions for you, of course. Yeah. I want to, can you please talk about your first contact with music since your childhood? And I want you to talk about your time at the band Las Variations. I think it was your first band, right?
Well, with some of the members from that band. When the band broke up, I did some recording with some of the guys from Las Variations. The bass player, his name was Jacques Grande, and we started a band called Starr System, and then he introduced me to some other French metal musicians. I met Jeannot, who was the drummer for a French metal band called Trust. And that was really a good time of my life. I met some very good heavy metal musicians, and it was a return to the country that I was born in, which is France.
Nice. Então, eu basicamente perguntei para ele sobre o primeiro contato que ele teve com a música e também pedir para ele falar um pouco da primeira banda da carreira dele, a Les Variations, que é uma banda francesa, lá no início da década de 80. Então, é isso aí, vamos seguir. Jack, I want you to talk about your move from France to US in the early 80s.
In the 1980s, I was in a band that I started in 1981 called Virgin Steel, and we were playing epic metal, heavy metal, but with some little bit of classical and a little bit of thrash, a little bit of doom. It was heavy, you know. One of the songs had this rhythm. So that was on the album. And we were one of the first bands that really started playing epic metal, because the song started with music from Bach, classical music. It went like this. So it started like that. Can you hear the guitar at all?
Yeah. Nice.
I can make it a little bit louder. I just want you to be able to hear. So it started, you know, with this. And that was the classical part of the song, but then it went into the metal part. So what we did in Virgin Steel is we were combining heavy metal and classical music.
That's so nice. Thank you for this, and thank you for your demonstration too.
Oh, sometimes,
Well,
I always have a guitar close by. Even,
yeah,
I have guitars everywhere in my house.
I really know you. I really understand you. I have some
So
years.
even
Yeah,
even if I'm watching television, I'll be, and watching the television.
mine's are forever
Daniel, você tem
closer
que,
to me too.
Daniel, você tem que traduzir para a galera aí, para entender a resposta
É
dele.
verdade. Pronto, vamos lá.
Já
Se
ficou
deixar a gente.
animado?
Vamos na resenha em inglês aqui, pô. Bom, eu basicamente perguntei para ele sobre qual o motivo dele ter se mudado da França para os Estados Unidos no início dos anos 1980. E ele explicou para a gente que foi por conta da formação do Virgin Steel. E no Virgin Steel ele já fez a demonstração de como foi a proposta de musicalidade deles lá no início dos anos 80, que era misturar música clássica, deu o exemplo do Bach, com o estilo de metal. Então, eles faziam o chamado metal épico, que era uma coisa que quase ninguém fazia na época. Então, foi uma demonstração.
Teve muita. Diga ele que teve muita repercussão no Brasil, nos primeiros dois
Sim.
discos do Virgin Steel.
So, Jack, the two first releases from Virgin Steel, they have a really great. They were famous here in Brazil. Many people liked it.
Yes, I think so. I think because it was something new, and there was a lot of good vibes. It was a good feeling to listen to this music, and it was different.
So nice. So let's keep going. I want you to talk about.
Deixa eu falar com o Daniel. Isso aqui você vai traduzir bem devagarzinho.
Tranquilo.
Já que tem muitos anos de carreira morando nos Estados Unidos, ele pegou a onda do thrash metal, Bay Area, Tracks, Exodus, Slayer, tantas bandas, Death Angel. Depois ele também pegou a onda do glam metal, Motley Crue, Icon, Helix, Twisted Sister, e Jack continuou na mesma linha, power metal. Depois veio a onda do death metal, bandas como Morbid Angel, né? Essas coisas, e o Jack continuou na mesma linha. Depois veio a onda do grunge, dos anos 90, dos Estados Unidos, que estourou e modificou muito o heavy metal no mundo, né? Só começou a curtir muito grunge. Mas ele continuou na mesma linha, no power metal, né? Até hoje. Então, isso para mim é uma inspiração. Quando você acredita naquilo que você faz, que é seu estilo. Então, transcendentou décadas e ele continua no power metal, entendeu? Isso que faz com que eu pelo menos, me sinta muito inspirado em tocar doom metal.
Posso falar para ele?
Pode.
So, Jack, Eduardo said that along all these years, from the 80s, the 90s, you lived in many styles that were dominating the scene, like the Bay Area thrash metal, Exodus, so many bands. Then the death metal came with Morbid Angel, Death, so many bands too. The glam metal, grunge in the start of the 90s. And all the time, you keep with your own style. So this, I don't know how to say. Let me just check this word. I forgot about it. So you remaining true to your own style.
Yes.
For all those years. And this is an inspiration for me, for Eduardo, that we are keeping the doom metal all the time. And this attitude to keep your own style for all these years, it's a big inspiration for us.
Well, for me, it's important to be honest, and I like to play, music that I feel love for this music. I don't want to play music simply, to try to make money or be popular. I want to play the music that I feel in my heart. And for me, I feel metal, epic power metal, and I also enjoy blues. So this has been, the kind of music that I've always played. But I also like to listen to other music, like thrash music. Uh, in fact, in the 1980s, I made some thrash metal albums, Phantom Lord, Phantom Lord 2, and also Devil Child. So I like all kinds of music. And I even made an instrumental album. And it's always a great feeling for me to discover another type of music. And I like that. It keeps my playing fresh.
Yeah, that's so nice. Bom, ele basicamente disse que quando se tem amor à música que se toca, ao estilo que se toca, não tem por que fazer nada de diferente ou seguir qualquer moda que seja. Se você tem amor ao estilo do Doom, você vai tocar Doom. Se você tem amor ao estilo do Heavy Metal, você vai tocar Heavy Metal. Claro, ele disse que fez alguns trabalhos por fora, gravou alguns álbuns de thrash metal, mas é isso. Quando
Eu já vi alguns vídeos dele tocando blues.
Blues. Pronto, vamos seguir. Jack, I want you to talk about the start of your solo project, the album Out of the Darkness.
Well, what happened is after I left Virgin Steel, I was feeling very sad because I really believed that Virgin Steel was going to become a very big band, like as big as Iron Maiden, Saxon. And when I left the band, I knew that this will never happen, that it was now going to be not possible for Virgin Steel to become that big, because the chemistry that existed between Dave DeFay and myself was no longer going to be there. So I was sad. And then I thought, well, I still have many things that I want to say musically. So, and people, were telling me basically, don't be sad, just keep going, and you can get a record deal. You can get a big record deal, and you can make a great album, and you can find great musicians like Rhett Forrester, who was in the band Riot, Carl Kennedy, the great drummer that was in the Rods, and all you have to do is ask these people and ask the record company. So I went to New Jersey, which is the next state from New York. So it was maybe 150 kilometers. I got in my car and I went to speak to the president of the label. And I said, hello, my name is Jack Starr. I started this band, Virgin Steel. We had a lot of people that were interested all over the world, and we sold a lot of records. I would like to make a solo album. And I thought, I didn't know if he was going to say yes or you're crazy or go away. But he said, have you got any demos? And I said, no, but I have a guitar in my car and a little amplifier. And I said, I said, if it's cool, if it's okay, I'll bring in my guitar and my amp, and I'll show you what I would like to record. And he said, this is crazy. He goes, this is crazy, but I like it. So I said, oh, okay. So went in my car, got my guitar, this very guitar right here.
Wow.
And I said, let me play you some ideas, and maybe we can, talk about how we can make this happen, So I played him the beginning of Concrete Warrior, this one. Another one like
So, quem não vê essa live tá fudido.
Yeah, so he liked it, and he liked my enthusiasm, and he said, look, he goes, we've just signed the bass player of the Rolling Stones, Bill Wyman. He was on the same label, and we have Todd Rundgren, we have Rick Derringer, we have Wendy O. Williams. Why do you think you deserve to be on a record label with the bass player of the Rolling Stones? And I said, why not? And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, you're right. Why not? And so then he just basically, we started talking about money, because unfortunately, everything in life, you have to also talk about money and to make things happen. And so we came to an agreement, and I put out my first album. And what was good for me is that I was able to get very good musicians like Rhett Forrester, great singer that was in Riot, and Carl Kennedy, because now I had something to offer them. I was going to have a solo album. And so that's how everything started. I just went over there and I played, and they saw the potential,
Nice.
Resumo.
Essa eu fui anotando porque realmente foi muita coisa e muita coisa interessante. Vamos lá. A pergunta que eu fiz foi para ele falar um pouco do primeiro projeto solo dele, que foi o álbum Out of the Darkness. E ele explicou que esse projeto solo deu início por conta da saída dele do Virgin Seal. E com essa saída do Virgin Seal, ele se sentiu um pouco triste, porque ele sabia que a partir daquele momento a carreira dele não seria tão grande, a exemplo do Maiden, do Saxon, que eram as principais influências que ele tinha. E aí ele explicou que passou um tempo correndo atrás de alguma gravadora para lançar um trabalho solo dele, era o que ele queria naquele momento. Ele falou de quando ele se mudou para Nova York e entrou no carro dele, começou a dirigir, foi atrás de uma gravadora, e ele foi atrás do presidente dessa gravadora. Ele contou a história do sucesso da Virgin Seal, do sucesso das vendas, e fez uma proposta de gravar um álbum solo. A partir desse momento, o presidente da gravadora perguntou se ele tinha alguma demo ou qualquer tipo de gravação, e ele respondeu que tinha apenas a guitarra e um amplificador dentro do carro. E perguntou ao presidente se ele poderia fazer uma demonstração ao vivo daquilo que ele queria gravar. Ele foi lá, pegou a guitarra, o amplificador, levou e tocou o solo que ele demonstrou, os riffs que ele demonstrou. E o presidente gostou da ideia e fez a pergunta para ele. Nós acabamos de assinar com o baixista do Rolling Stones. Por que você acha que você teria uma chance com a gente? E ele simplesmente disse, por que eu não teria? E aí ele gostou da resposta, eles se deram bem, começaram a conversar. E a partir daí, negociaram e o resto foi história. Ele chegou a um acordo com a gravadora e lançou esse álbum, Out of the Darkness.
Falar para ele assim, a gente está se sentindo muito honrado, né? com um presente que ele nos deu para a gente fazer uma versão, né, da música Hands of Doom, né?
Ok.
E a gente está muito lisonjeado com isso, que a gente vai devolver esse presente mais arrastado possível. Totalmente Doom. Espero que ele goste da versão. E agradece, né? Já que isso é um presente, né? Que a gente recebeu e a gente abraçou essa ideia. Só agradecer.
Okay. So, Phil, we want to thank you for your gift to us, the Hands of Doom song, and we hope we will do a really great work on it, and we will give it back to you, so slower and heavier than the song already is. So we are so thankful for you
I
for your
think,
presence to us.
and you know, my good friend Phil Simons,
Yeah, great
he's
Phil.
great guy. He talked to me and he said, you know, I'm helping this great band from Brazil, The Cross. And I said, well, let me hear them, you know. And I didn't know what to.
Hands of Doom. Manda ele tocar o refrão aí para me cantar.
I didn't know what to expect. And then when I heard the band and I heard the passion, you know, and the intensity of the music, I said, you know, I would be honored if they would do, you know, one of my songs and do it in their style. So then Phil said to me, let me talk to them, you know, and it was a good thing. And Phil understood what I'm trying to do musically. I want to be heavy, but I also want to be musical. I want to be heavy and also have a little bit of melodic, you know, riffs like. So, you know, just that kind of. It's just very driving. It's like boom, boom, you know, kind of like this kind of riff. You know, I like when there's some dissonant notes that are like mysterious sounding, you know, and so and I think Phil likes this kind of music too, and I hear it when I listen to The Cross. I hear that it's not happy music, and
Absolutely not.
and I don't play happy music either. Maybe, you know, I don't think right now the world is not really a very happy place. And even if the world was a happy place, I still would want to play music that has, you know, passion and anger. And because there are many elements in a person's personality. You know, there is softness, there is love, but there's also anger, there's also hatred, and there's also passion. And all of them together create human beings and human emotion and human feeling. So, you know, I'm okay with all the different emotions.
So nice. Thank you, Jack.
Thank
Quer que eu
you.
traduza
Agora
essa aula de
traduzir.
heavy metal aí, de alguma música?
Rapaz. Bom, a gente agradeceu para ele o presente que a gente recebeu, que é uma música feita pelo Jack, chamada Hands of Doom, que foi uma parceria com o nosso grande amigo Phil Simons, dos Estados Unidos também, grande amigo do Jack. E o Jack já tinha essa música que era um pouco mais arrastada, e o Phil Simons mostrou a nossa banda pro Jack Starr. E ele gostou do que a gente fez. Ele nos deu essa música de presente. A gente vai trabalhar e vai desenvolver essa música mais pesada e mais densa do que ela já é. E ele fez um comentário que acaba sendo verdade, né? A The Cross não toca músicas felizes, mas acaba sendo que o mundo também não é um lugar muito feliz. E independente disso, ele falou, mesmo se o mundo fosse o lugar mais feliz do mundo, eu continuaria tocando a música com o sentimento que eu tenho. Independente de ser tristeza, de ser amor, de ser ansiedade, compaixão, a música causa sentimento na gente. Então, independente disso, ele tocaria com o mesmo sentimento, independente do mundo ser o lugar mais feliz do mundo.
Foi o que eu disse, né? Aula de heavy metal.
É isso.
Siga aí, siga a pergunta.
Vamos lá, let's keep going.
Faz em português primeiro.
Ah, tá, ok. Bom, vou perguntar para ele. Beleza. Vou pedir para ele falar um pouco da carreira atual dele, né? Esse momento do auge dos seus 72 anos de idade.
Não parece acreditar. Antes de você fazer a pergunta se é muito incômodo ele fazer aqui um trechinho do solo que ele fez no tributo ao Dio, né? De Cat Raven. Se não for, pedir demais, né?
Ok. So, Jack, Eduardo wants you to play a little part from the solo of your tribute to Dio.
A little bit of the album that I'm working on now?
No, the solo you play tribute to Dio, Ron James Dio.
Oh, a Dio?
Yeah,
Catch a Rainbow.
I like to play my own originals, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But I can tell you this. A lot of my influences in music are going to be similar, maybe to the influences of Ritchie Blackmore or Clapton or Jeff Beck. I'm a little younger than they are, but I still listen to the same kind of music, you know, like Santana. Maybe he's, I don't know, 5 years older than me, but I listened to some of the same things when I was growing up. So I don't copy Blackmore or Santana or Clapton, but I'm influenced by the same things. Like when I was living in France in the 1970s, there was a television commercial that I liked hearing a lot, and it went like this. This is a French television commercial, okay? So I listened to this commercial, and then I wanted to understand what they were doing, you know. So what I learned is that this is something in classical music called the circle of fifths. And I learned this, and then I realized that Carlos Santana, Gary Moore, and Ritchie Blackmore all use this, the circle of fifths. So I didn't receive this concept from Gary Moore or Blackmore or Santana. I received it from a television commercial in 1972. And so for me, the influences, because I'm close in age to these people, I have many of the same influences, including blues. And that's why for me, I don't really want to play too many covers. I did a couple of covers, like Catch a Rainbow, but mainly it was the record company that wanted me to make a cover. I'm much happier when I, make my own riffs, like, or when I go, just doing my own thing is really what I want to do and continue to do. And I'm very happy and honored that there are people that like what I'm doing, my own original music. And right now, I'm working on a solo album, and I have a great friend, Gene Cooper, who is helping engineer and produce and playing bass on it and everything else imaginable. And we're creating really great music, and also Burning Starr is also going to be working on a new album also. So for me, it's the adventure of playing music that I really enjoy.
So nice. Rapaz, a gente fez uma pergunta simples, tá vendo, Eduardo? Bom, a gente
fala um pouquinho mais alto, Daniel. Fala um pouquinho mais alto.
A gente perguntou sobre um tributo ao Dio que ele fez na música Catch a Rainbow. E ele respondeu sobre as influências que ele teve na época para gravar a versão dele desse solo. E foram, na verdade, na mesma época de Santana e outros guitarristas, da década de 70, década de 80. Mas a verdadeira inspiração dele veio de um comercial de televisão. Ele assistiu, exatamente. Veio de um comercial de televisão que acabou dando toda essa influência para ele gravar parte desse solo. E ele também falou sobre a questão de ele prefere fazer tudo da forma dele, não tocar covers, como a gente falou da Catch a Rainbow. Ele gravou a versão dele, do que veio na mente dele, da forma que ele quis compor, da forma que ele se sentiu mais confortável de tocar. E é uma coisa que eu e o Eduardo acabamos conversando muito, né, sobre essa questão de covers ou tributos. A gente sempre prefere fazer da forma mais original possível. Inclusive, nosso tributo a My Dying Bride está aí para provar isso, né? A música virou completamente outra. Cada músico tem sua mente, tem sua forma de interpretar, sua forma de tocar, de externar. Então, mais uma aula de heavy metal por parte do Jack. E vamos seguir, que nossas perguntas estão quase no fim, hein?
Quantas perguntas tem? Acho que 2, né?
Não, temos mais 4 aqui, mas são curtas. Vamos nessa. Na verdade, mais 3, né? Ele já acabou respondendo 2 dentro de outras perguntas.
Nós estamos com 33 minutos de live. Vamos até uma hora. Tem que estar com a guitarra aí, né? Para fazer um dueto com ele. Escolhe uma música do Black Sabbath ou do Manowar.
Manowar? Enquanto eu vou arrumando aqui o setup, Jack, I want you to talk about your present career at your young 72 age.
Well, I'm happy that I feel good. I feel like I want to play some more, and for me, age is not important. What's important is how a person feels. And if they have the desire to live life and contribute, and then you're not old. You have to. It comes from within. How a person feels. I look at the president of the United States, who's 80 years old, and I look at Sammy Hagar, the singer of Van Halen, who's 80 years old. And Sammy Hagar, for me, is like a young guy, because he is I don't know. He's enjoying life.
Yeah.
He's enjoying good food, good music, women, going in a car and going fast, and he's enjoying life. And I think that I want to be like Sammy Hagar, and I am like Sammy Hagar. I don't want to be like people that have, that are feeling old. I don't want that, and that's why I still like to do. Still like to rip, and still like to, still like to go crazy and have fun and play music. I think that I want to keep doing this. I'm happy that I have fans all over the world. It's the longer I do this, the more I seem to have more success, more people, and I think that this is true of many people in music, in the arts, and in Hollywood. Sometimes when you first appear, everyone is like, "Oh, this is great. This new band, Virgin Steel, oh, fantastic. Oh, this guitar player, Jack Starr, great, great, great." Then 10 years later, 20 years later, like, "Oh, that Jack Starr guy, he's still around? Oh,
Yeah.
it's boring. It sucks. No good." Then 40 years later, 50 years later, people say, "Wow, this guy Jack Starr is still playing, man. That's fantastic, man." And you get this respect that you never had before, but now it's because you've shown the world that you have strength, and you're not going to go away, and power, and you're going to stay. And people admire that. It's important. Bands, like Manowar, they're still playing, and they're my age.
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good, and I'm happy that I have some great fans in South America, and in Europe, in Greece. We're going to be doing a big concert in Greece, and I'm also happy that I'm still making albums. We just had a box set of 7 albums in a box. They just got released on global records. So there is this continued interest, and I want to thank everybody that's listening. Because I think a lot of people, they get forgotten. Sometimes they could be really, really big, like Britney Spears, or somebody, and then people totally forget about them. But there's always been a strong cult of people that have liked all the bands that I've been in. Jack Starr, Virgin Steel, Burning Star, Phantom Lord, Devil Child. So it's very encouraging, and I want to thank you guys, and I want to thank Eduardo and the Cross for really making me feel like a friend. Like you guys are not just fans, but friends, and also fellow musicians that are doing the same thing that I'm doing that are looking to connect to as many people as possible.
Thank you a lot for
Resuma
your
aí.
words. Eu vou tocar também, peraí.
Resuma a resposta. Toca agora não.
I heard a little bit.
Primeiro você responde.
Yeah, and, you know, for me, I mean, I love a lot of music. You know, like we did some thrash music in the 1980s. We did you know, stuff like
Faça um resumo, Daniel, da resposta.
Pronto, vamos lá. Eu pedi para ele falar um pouco da carreira atual dele, né, do momento atual da vida, no auge dos 72 anos de idade. E, assim, ele falou sobre, basicamente, o resumo da vida de um músico de mais de 40, 50 anos de carreira, que, poxa, você tá tocando ali nos anos 80 e a banda faz sucesso por um ano, dois, daqui a 3, 4 anos, o pessoal, poxa, ele ainda toca, legal. É como se fosse uma coisa chata, monótona, entendeu? E aí se passam 30, 40 anos e aquela pessoa ainda tá ali fazendo música, lançando com uma carreira estável. E aí as pessoas se impressionam, poxa, esse cara continua tocando há 40 anos, nossa, isso é realmente impressionante. Então, foi um pouco de uma crítica também sobre essa questão do reconhecimento ao músico, o reconhecimento à carreira do músico. Muita gente pensa que é coisa passageira e realmente acontece, né? Principalmente no mainstream. Tem muita gente que faz sucesso por 1, 2 anos e desaparece. Lança uma música e desaparece e para a carreira. Mas Jack tá aí há 40 anos fazendo metal, desde sempre, desde que a gente tem conhecimento. E ele disse que se sente bem, idade não importa, é apenas um número para ele. Ele, enquanto continuar se sentindo bem, ele vai continuar tocando, vai continuando fazendo seus shows, vai continuar gravando. E ele deu o exemplo do Sammy Hagar, que era o vocalista do Van Halen. O cara tem 76, quase 77 anos. E continua fazendo as mesmas coisas que fazia quando tinha 18. Então, é uma coisa bem interessante que o Jack pontuou.
you know,
Yeah, Jack.
and there's one other thing, you know, that I want to say is
Okay. No
some
problem.
of the words to some of the songs, you know, that I've played. The words, the lyrics are important. Like we had a song called "Go Down Fighting." Now, what that meant was that to not be afraid. Like if someone attacks you, if someone wants to hurt you, you have to not be afraid because fear is the enemy. So the song "Go Down Fighting," I'm just going to play you the riff. Maybe you remember this one. And that's what I try to do in the lyrics to the songs that I'm writing now, because I think a lot of people are afraid. You know, they're afraid of viruses. They're afraid of other countries. They're afraid of sometimes in relationships. They're afraid of the person that they're in a relationship with. They're afraid of losing their job. And what I want to say in the lyrics to these songs is, don't be afraid, because fear is the enemy, and it's a bigger enemy than the enemies that you're afraid of.
So nice. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Ele falou de uma música que ele tem trabalhado ultimamente e fala exatamente sobre o medo da vida de um modo geral. Eu acho que complementa o que eu vinha falando sobre a questão da idade, sobre os vários anos de carreira. E ele disse que o medo é seu inimigo, não importa que tipo de medo seja. Muita gente tem medo do trabalho, de perder o trabalho, do relacionamento, do que enfrenta dentro de um relacionamento, medo de viajar, medo de lugares novos, medo de evoluir. Então, ok, no problem. Ele externa esse pensamento através da letra de suas músicas, né? E eu acho que complementa perfeitamente tudo que ele vinha explicando antes sobre essa questão de tantos anos de carreira. Então, mais uma vez, agradecer por essa resposta do Jack. E vamos dar seguimento. A gente só tem mais 2 perguntas aqui, Edu, para finalizar tudo. Deixa só ele voltar aí que eu pergunto.
Você aí, essas 2 perguntas conseguem se fundir em uma só?
Deixa eu ver. Bom, eu ia perguntar sobre a impressão dele sobre bandas brasileiras de modo geral, a música brasileira.
E a outra seria qual?
O que ele espera do nosso futuro trabalho, né?
Você pode juntar. Ele vai estar no lançamento. Agora sim, acho que você devia tocar algo junto com ele, que isso aí vai ficar registrado, né? Isso aqui também é histórico.
É verdade.
Você diga a ele qualquer música do Manowar que ele saiba, vocês tocam junto.
Vamos ver. Hey Jack, what's your favorite song from Manowar?
I think Manowar. I think they're a great band, and I liked a lot of the early music of Manowar with Ross. I thought Ross was a very good guitar player for this kind of music that they were doing. And, Joey is a great bass player, and he's a very nice guy. He was very helpful in the bringing back Jack Starr and bringing back Burning Star. We made an album in 2000. I think it was around 2003. It was called Guardians of the Flame.
Yeah.
And I went to have a meeting with Joey because Carl Kennedy had recommended that I talk to him. And he heard the album and he said the album is really good, but why are you calling it Guardians of the Flame? And I said, I thought it was a cool name. And he goes, no, don't call the next album Guardians of the Flame, because he goes, Jack, you've created goodwill with the name Burning Star in the 1980s. You've created goodwill with your solo stuff with the name Jack Starr. So you have to stick with that and not use another name. And I said to him, that makes sense. I was happy that he said that. He said, when you create goodwill and when you create a good name, you have to continue with that name. So the next album, we went back to using the name Burning Star, and it was the Defiance album, and it was on Joey's record label, Magic Circle. And that was the beginning of making Burning Star a popular metal band again. Because during the 1990s, I did a lot of blues music. And I didn't do a lot of metal. I started metal again in the late 1990s. But I wanted to learn how to play blues, and I wanted to make blues albums. And I still I love playing blues, but I love metal. Metal is my first love. And I listened to Joey DeMaio. He said, man, don't waste your time coming up with crazy names. You're not Guardians of the Flame. You're Burning Starr. And, when Joey tells you something, he has a very strong personality.
Yeah.
So, so I said, okay, man, I think you're right, And, he was right. We're Burning Starr. We're going to stay with that name. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do solo albums.
Yeah, of course.
I'm working on a solo album. I can't say too much about it, but it's going to have some interesting people, some of them well known, and it's going to be really something that I'm doing with Gene Cooper. Right now, the two of us are the nucleus of this solo album, and we hope that people are going to like it because I think that it's good stuff. I really do, and I'm not going back to calling it. I'm not going to call it Guardians of the Flame. I'm not going to call my band Iron Maiden. I'm not going to call my band Saxon or Angel Witch. I'm not going to call it anything except Burning Starr. And when I do a solo album, it's going to be Jack Starr or Jack Starr and another name, but that will be the solo album,
So nice.
So it's all good, and I want to play one more riff for you. See if you remember this. That's a riff that's going to be on the solo album. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's got a little bit of the Mid-Eastern flavor, which I like, a little bit of the Spanish flavor, which I like, and a little bit of the heaviness, rock rock. So it's got that kind of sound, and I hope that people will like it, when that album comes out. And I'm also, I'm not giving up on Burning Starr either. We got another album that will come out, but the Burning Starr album seemed to take a long time to make. So I'm really happy that the solo album is not going to take 6 years to make.
Yeah, that's nice. So, Jack, we have 2 more questions for you, but
yes.
I do ask if you can play any Manowar riff that you like.
If I can play, you mean in any band that I like?
No, any Manowar riff that you like.
A metal riff.
Se você tocar uma música do Manowar,
a Manowar song.
Well, this was a good riff. This one?
Deep Purple.
Yeah, that was a good riff.
Yeah.
And I like this riff by Burning Starr. That was a good one, and
yeah.
I like.
This is Sands of Time.
Sands of Time, yeah. So that's one of my favorite.
Admit.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
So that and yeah, I mean, I also like some of the Black Sabbath riffs. Like
Yeah.
that's a great riff. And this one, what was hold on, the Ozzy riff. I mean, Ozzy's great. Black Sabbath. All this music is really very inspired. It's great.
This one. You like this one?
Yes, I like that. What is that?
Metal Days.
Mm,
The first one.
that's it. Yes, and all that music I think from the '80s is great. But I also like what the Cross is doing. Very atmospheric doom. It's very. It's great because there's also a lot of space in the music. Thrash music, the songs don't have a lot of space. It's always, but it's cool sometimes to have space. Do you know what I mean?
So nice. So, Jack, we are about to 1 hour of live, and I have two last questions for you.
Tu tem que traduzir, né? O povo tá
beleza.
esperando, senão.
Pronto, verdade. Se deixar a gente leva a resenha aqui, ó, eu esqueço. Ó, a gente acabou fazendo uma brincadeira aqui com as guitarras. Eu perguntei para ele sobre alguns riffs que ele gostava de tocar. Ele fez uma apresentação de músicas do Deep Purple, do próprio Burning Starr. Eu toquei com ele aqui.
É um pouco baixo, Daniel. Sua
me
voz
ouvindo
tá um
melhor?
pouco baixa.
Pronto.
Agora.
Pronto. Eu perguntei para ele alguns riffs que ele gostava de tocar. E ele fez uma demonstração de alguns do Deep Purple, da própria Burning Starr. Foi a Sands of Time que eu toquei junto com ele. E, enfim, mostrou alguns riffs do Ozzy, do Black Sabbath. E, assim, foi uma brincadeira musical que a gente acabou fazendo aqui. E agora eu vou partir para as duas últimas perguntas. E a impressão dele sobre a música brasileira no geral. Se ele tem alguma influência musical do lado de cá, né, do Atlântico.
Eu acho que cabe só mais uma pergunta, que é a última.
A última,
entendeu?
Né? Pronto.
Que aí a gente faz as considerações e agradece ele.
Se quiser, eu posso fazer as duas perguntas em uma só também. Ele já responde.
Então é melhor a gente agradecer, né, toda essa aula de heavy metal. Você quer fazer a pergunta?
Pronto, vamos fazer. É bom a gente ter isso registrado também. So, Jack, here is the last question for you. So, first of all, we want to thank you for your time, for your kindness with us. And
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure and my honor.
Our honor. Thank you a lot. Really, really thank you a lot. And the last two questions, or the last question is, do you have any influence from the Brazilian music? And what do you expect for the upcoming album with The Cross? What do you expect with our new record?
I'm first of all, I don't know too much Brazilian music, except, of course, the Cavaleira Conspiracy, or Sepultura, I think is Brazilian, right?
Yeah.
And then I know some crazy Brazilian music, like from the movie Lambada. Do you remember this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I like the melody in that song. And then I know also, some of I think there's a female metal band. I think they're called Crypta. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Brazilian too.
I think it's Brazilian. So I don't really know too much. I was invited to go see the Cavalera Conspiracy when they played near my house. They played in not too far, maybe an hour from me. And I almost went, but I had to go in the recording studio that night. So I didn't see them. But I love the energy of Brazilian music. I like the groove. I think I think all music needs groove. It needs rhythm, and I think in the Brazilian music, I hear a lot of groove, and I like that.
Nice.
Thank you. And sometimes I think that drums are very important too in Brazilian metal. Am I right?
Yeah, you're really right. So, traduzir agora para a galera, eu perguntei sobre alguma influência e o conhecimento que ele tem sobre bandas brasileiras. Ele disse que, infelizmente, por enquanto, né, ainda não conhece tantas bandas. Ele conhece o Cavaleira Conspiracy, também o Sepultura, obviamente. E ele teve a oportunidade de assistir a Cavaleira Conspiracy, um show que eles fizeram a aproximadamente 1 hora da casa dele, mas ele teve gravação no dia, acabou não vendo. Mas a gente vai brasileirar ele um pouquinho mais. So, Jack, the last question. What do you expect for this new work with us? And what do you expect for the new album with The Cross?
Tem que ser em português, né? Também.
I think that I think it's great. I've heard a little bit already. Beyond the Borders, and some other. I think it's going to be a great album. I think Eduardo vocal style is very, very good, very different, because some of the singers scream a lot, and I think Eduardo can do both. He can have a good deep voice and also still be very powerful. So I think that this is a good mixture. So I think it's going to be a great album, and I think it's going to do well. I'm honored to been asked to play something on it, or a little solo or whatever, and it's great that one of the songs that I wrote will appear on it. So I want to thank you guys for doing this and for honoring me by recording one of the songs.
Thank you a lot, Jack. E traduzindo, galera, eu perguntei para ele qual a expectativa para esse novo álbum da The Cross, que enfim, a gente está lotado de convidados especiais e nossa expectativa é fazer uma live com cada um desses candidatos. A nossa primeira foi com o convite do Jack, né? A gente não podia ser diferente. E ele disse que se sente muito honrado em fazer esse trabalho, de ter sido convidado a gravar com a gente esse novo álbum. Elogiou o vocal do nosso vovô. Disse que é bastante versátil na forma tanto dos vocais guturais quanto dos vocais limpos, e é o que a gente tem buscado fazer, né? Um som completamente diferente. É aquilo que o Jack falou mais cedo, não adianta a gente fazer a mesmice, a gente seguir o nosso estilo, não ter rótulo para nada, e eu acho que é isso que a The Cross vem feito nos últimos anos, né? E no mais, agradecer. Okay.
Eu quero agradecer a quem esteve aqui, quero agradecer a aula, né? Aula, né? Só aprendizado, sempre eu falo com o Jack, né? Só aprendizado. É só aprendizado, né? É aula de heavy metal, aula de uma pessoa que tem mais de 40 anos de heavy metal de estrada, e é uma pessoa extremamente simples, humilde e que ama a música, né? Ama aquilo que faz. Isso que é o mais importante, né? Que a mensagem que seja para todo mundo, né? Quero agradecer demais a ele. Eu espero em 2024 dividir o palco com ele, ou lá nos Estados Unidos, ou ele aqui no Brasil, né? Vai faltar cerveja nesse dia, mas a gente vai tocar no mesmo palco, vai dar essa honra da gente dividir e tocar a música nova, a versão, né, de Hands of Doom, e tocar a música nova do The Croix, que ele vai participar. Só posso agradecer e, como fã, né, me sinto privilegiado.
And I hope to visit Brazil one day also. This is something that I would very much like to see. The beautiful country of Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, and what is in the capital of Brazil? Is it called Brasilia?
Yeah, Brasilia.
Brasilia looks very, for me, it looks very interesting because it looks very futuristic.
Yeah, it was built for be the administrative center of Brazil. So every public building is there, and it wasn't built for be a touristical city.
Okay.
So it was built just for this.
Transmite para ele, Daniel, para a gente poder encerrar, já tem mais de uma hora.
Pronto, beleza. Pronto, então agradecer a presença de todo mundo, agradecer a presença do Jack, que nos deu a honra de ter o tempo dele, de estar com a gente aqui nessa live por mais de uma hora, nessa segunda-feira. E é isso. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your kindness. And we really hope that you will come to visit us here in Brazil too.
How do I say goodbye in Portuguese?
Até logo. Até
breve.
Até no? Close enough. I say goodbye and metal on. Metal on. Take care.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night, Jack.
Bye-bye.
Valeu, galera.
Valeu, galera. Obrigado aí, boa noite. Para a semana tem mais. Vai ter o Emanuel Portelli, lá de Malta, da Itália, do Pilgrimage, falando de Defton. Beleza? Grande abraço a vocês. Valeu, Daniel.
Valeu,
abraço.
boa noite.
Cuida. Valeu.